Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's your boy Tud.
I'm Obert.
And I'm Jenna.
Whoa!
Oh,
Who's this? I think the Russians have finally invaded my internet. So
yeah. Well, I didn't know we had somebody else on this podcast. I gotta leave now, guys. See you later.
Yeah, that's right.
Bye.
Three-person
taking
max.
I distinctly said three friends drink alone together.
Yeah.
Tud.
Plus one.
So yes, we have a +1 for this episode. Very exciting stuff. So the lovely Jenna has joined us. Thank you for spending time talking to three idiots.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Whoa. 2 idiots and 1 really smart guy who's now bald.
Right.
So you had to throw that in there. I was going to turn it around on you.
Yeah,
but
that's why I had to add it in there.
You thought of everything.
Each of the hosts can figure out who they think the smart person is.
But Jenna?
Yes.
Where are you? What are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? What is you?
I'd like to think I'm a mermaid. You know, I have blue hair, but I live in Michigan.
She does, that's true. I can vouch for that.
Do you live in the lake?
I grew up on a lake, actually. So
That's mermaidish.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Do you have a fin?
Maybe.
Tut,
Can neither
you're
confirm
getting
nor
too
deny
personal.
the fin.
You're getting too personal. It's 2019. She can literally be whatever she wants.
I guess
So
That's,
she's
I
a mermaid.
identify as a mermaid. Okay.
If you
She's a
want to have a
mermaid,
fin,
okay?
you can have a fin.
Okay.
Well, I live right outside of Detroit. I lived in Seattle for 2 years, and I'm back in Michigan now. And I love cats. I love The Office.
There you go.
Seems like a bad thing to like cats.
I mean, I love dogs too. Really, all animals, but cats there's just something majestic and mysterious. You know,
Is it
pretty amazing.
Is it the bitchiness of a cat?
it could be. They're assholes, but it's like, God, I love you.
Yeah. That's
They really make
Can't
you
help
work for
it.
that love. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When my cat sits on my lap, I'm like, nobody move.
the world must stop.
It does. It does. But I love The Office. 90s music and oldies make me smile.
Like Britney Spears?
I mean, I liked her, yeah. But I mean, like Matchbox 20.
Okay, I can get down with some Matchbox 20.
It's my jam. My jam. And The Temptations.
Fun fact, I once got into an argument with a guy at UConn who told me that Matchbox 20 was better than Led Zeppelin.
Yes, this is a true story. I don't know if I was there for the argument per se, but this story has been told many times. So,
I mean, I might have to agree.
So, Jenna, how did you become a friend of the pod?
Correct.
yeah, so that's what the people want to know.
Well, on my Beerstagram journey, I believe you guys followed me on Instagram, and I returned the follow, and then I checked out the podcast, and I was like, oh, these guys seem really fun, and I realized you didn't have a very big following at the time, so I reached out and was like, hey, you want some tips? And the friendship began.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
you have a beer Instagram?
I do, yeah. Yeah, it's called TheBrewLocker.
And what is your Instagram all about?
Beer.
There you go. Boom. It's almost too easy.
One thing we
It was
all like on
almost
this
too easy.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember, because I'm generally the one that mans the Instagram for us, but I remember when she reached out and we had like 100 followers or something like that, or maybe we just broke 100 followers, I don't remember. And all of a sudden I get this message be like, hey, do you want like tips and tricks or something like that? I just started my account like 2 months ago and I already have like 1,500 followers. So.
Oh, whatever.
And I was like 90% convinced she was a bot. But
Right.
I was like,
being like,
I was like, well, maybe she's not a bot. Who knows?
Really?
Click
You thought
turns
I
out
was
she's
a
not.
bot?
click here for this one weird trick to up your followers.
Yeah. Click dot
Just
to
Venmo me
get 10K.
$79.99.
I
Yeah, right.
specifically remember saying, I'm not trying to get any money, I'm just trying to help you.
You did, yes.
That's even
And
more
that-
a red flag.
I thought it would be better.
Yeah.
I don't want any cash, but if you could forward me all your credit card information, that'd
Right.
be great.
And your social security number.
And the social
Obviously.
security number of your firstborn child.
Right.
Yep, I'm going to
right.
need that too.
But since then, our Instagram has taken off, and I often give Jenna props for that. So thanks.
You're welcome.
So, Jenna, can you give our listeners a little bit of an overview of what to expect if they go look up your Instagram handle, which is at TheBrewLocker, correct?
Yeah, TheBrewLocker. You'll find a lot of pictures of beer that I drink all around Michigan. Lots of travel pictures. I do a lot of international traveling and try to get as many beers from other countries as I can as well. You'll also see some pictures of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the craziest place you've had a beer so far on your Instagram?
Craziest place? Probably the Guinness Storehouse, which is like the mecca of beers. You know, it's the king. So that was pretty intense.
So you mean like Guinness, Ireland Guinness?
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
went to, very cool.
Yeah, like the Guinness.
What if she was like,
Guinness.
no, Guinness, Michigan?
right.
It's right outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, Guinness.
Right.
That's as far as I
Guinness,
go.
he brews everything in his bathtub. It's really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of brewing in a bathtub, I just started my my home brewing experience last week. Not in a bathtub. But
I was about to say, that's not the way to sell yourself on homebrewing.
Yeah.
I got a cool little craft beer kit for Christmas for my uncle, and it's going to make an American Pale Ale. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fermenting
Cool.
right now.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And that's your first endeavor, right? You said
Yes, it's the
Never
first
before?
one, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
good luck.
Back when Chris and I lived in the same state, we used to homebrew as well. I don't think neither one of us has picked it up since the other one has departed.
No, I have not. So
Yeah, definitely a much more fun activity when you could do it with friends as opposed to homebrewing alone with friends, isn't it? Isn't as great?
I was actually talking to Dana about that the other day because I was like, man, I really miss brewing. And she was like, well, you can like get all the stuff and like brew here. And I was like, it's kind of a pain in the ass to do alone.
Yeah.
Especially when you do like a 5-gallon batch. It's way easier to have two sets of hands. I mean, it's fun.
You know, maybe one day we will have to do a Brew Alone with Friends episode where we're all just kind of brewing alone in our houses, talking to each other.
That might be interesting.
It would be interesting or like really boring for like 50 minutes. And then
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, it's time to whirlpool.
I think for my contribution, I could just have like microwave popping in the background and just be sitting here eating popcorn, critiquing you guys brewing. I think that sounds fun.
Yep.
Sounds like
Obert slowly gets more drunk throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
Right. We're struggling, and Obert's getting drunk, being like, hey, you don't want that to hit the bottom or else it's going to burn, so you should not do that. Oh, man. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I just got off a billion-hour day of work.
I did not.
Me either.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're the only one who worked today. But, you know, some of us got to work tomorrow, so it all evens out.
I don't have to work till March.
No one likes people like
So-
that, Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear about how you don't have to work till March.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I get winters off.
Yeah, I get winters off. I get to go to Ireland. I get all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I help out these peasant podcasts gain Instagram followers. So, but anyways, I could use a beer. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty thirsty.
Sure. I can always use a beer.
So who wants to lead us off tonight? What are you drinking tonight?
Can I start?
I think Obert can start. I think it's allowed.
I mean, I'm pretty excited for this one. I didn't get a chance to drink it last week, but this is one I just brought back in my suitcase from my last visit to Connecticut. It's a beer called Roper Scotch Ale from Bad Sons Brewing. And I believe Bad Sons is out of Derby. Yes, it's in Derby. Actually, the name of the brewery is, it's, what do you call that? Not an anagram, acronym. The first letter of each of the towns in the valley area spells out Bad Sons. I don't know, but like Ansonia, Derby.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure what all the towns are, but I thought it was an interesting way to name their brewery. Todd, are you okay?
Yeah.
You look a little grumpy.
Yeah. You doing
A
good?
little pouty
Okay.
lip there.
Yeah.
No, I have like a cut on my lip, so I was like trying to stretch it.
You're trying to stretch it out. You know, that's how
I was
you
like,
heal
wow,
cuts.
Ted really has something, thinks I'm saying something wrong here.
You know what? Hang on.
Okay, Ted's gone.
Okay, Todd's
Yeah.
gone now.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, this is interesting because it's a wax sealed bottle, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Hey, Tut, are you okay? You look pretty upset.
I'm just constantly evaluating what Obert's saying.
Man, you guys
Sorry,
make
Obert.
it hard to give a beer intro. But this has a wax seal, but it's also over a bottle cap, which it's going to make it, I think, a little challenging to open. But
How else would you wax seal a bottle? Without a bottle cap?
well, like
Like a
you know,
cork?
like a maker's mark. Yeah, like a cork.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had to peel a bunch of the wax off just so I could try and get the bottle opener on here. But
They look really nice,
There we
but
go.
they're a pain.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Bad Sons is a brewery that I have not been to. I've heard really good things about the brewery, and it's on my short list of places to visit, but it is one of the few places that I have not been to. That entire area of the state besides Counterweight and Nebco are breweries that I really haven't visited.
Yeah, it's kind of a drive.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, I don't know who lives there, but they all should move to the eastern side of the state.
You do know that friend of the pod, Nick, is literally like 2 minutes from that brewery.
Yeah, well,
Bad friend. So this is a bourbon barrel aged Roper Scotch ale, aged 1 year with cherries and white chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah. So just aroma wise, I definitely get that bourbon smell, a little bit of that cherry dark wine, but let's see how it tastes.
Sounds delicious. I mean, I have had a few Scotch ales now, and now that I know that they're not made with Scotch or up to taste like Scotch, I know the last one I had was pretty good. So this sounds like it's going to be a pretty tasty beer.
It is. It's good. It's got a sweet, almost honey flavor to it. I think that's the white chocolate and cherry kind of coming through. And I'll show the co-host here. It's a nice dark amber color. It's got that classic bourbon barrel flavor to it. It's a really good balance of sweet and boozy. I think as it warms up, the white chocolate's going to shine through a little bit more. But I definitely am enjoying this beer so far.
Do you think it would be better made with dark chocolate?
ooh.
Yeah, I'm not a huge white chocolate person. I think in
Neither
general,
am I.
dark chocolate's better, especially in a beer. You know, maybe more of a cocoa flavor.
Right, especially a dark beer like that.
Right.
White chocolate just kind of seems like a waste of chocolate to me.
Yeah. Well, it has the least amount of cocoa of any chocolate, white chocolate. So it's barely chocolate to begin with.
It's just sugar, sweetness.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's something that as a kid I liked, but now that I have more of a palate for bitter and less sweet, definitely moving more to that dark chocolate. But overall, I'm going to say this is a damn good beer. I think this earns a solid 4.25. And I might update that as the episode goes on and it warms up and I get through a little bit more, but very good bourbon barrel Scotch ale.
That's a really good rating.
Yeah, it is a good rating.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think Obert's been either drank the worst beer or been the most stingy on rating on the podcast. So
I think I am definitely the most stingy. It takes a lot to earn over a 4 from me, and this checked those boxes.
Now, in Obert's defense, he also seems to live in the state with the least good breweries.
I am gonna object to that because we have a lot of beer that you get commercially isn't gonna blow your mind. I'll agree with that, but we do have the number 2 breweries per capita of any state after Vermont. So we have a lot of breweries per people, and I think.
Well, there's 4 people in the state, and there's 10
Right.
breweries, so...
Yeah, so we got a good ratio there. Every person owns 2.25 breweries. Yeah.
So, hang on. So this is actually an interesting question. Out of the 3 co-hosts, which one do you think lives in the state with the worst brewery? With the worst, quality of breweries? If you think that Montana is not.
are you asking me?
I'm asking all 3 of us. I'm going to add Jenna into this. All 3 of us here, and including, plus Jenna, which one do you think has the worst quality of breweries? That's an interesting question.
Well, I have my answer.
Go for it.
She looked right at Obert. My screen, her eyes went right to Obert.
I mean, come on. In Connecticut, you've got the Treehouse and the Fox Farm.
Definitely.
Treehouse is Massachusetts,
But-
believe it or
I
not.
mean,
you
it's barely over the line.
Well,
But you have
New
Fox
England.
Farm, you have Counterweight, you have Nebco, you have all those big time breweries.
and Nashville is just Nashville. I mean, you
Well,
can't
Southern
go
Grist and
wrong.
Bearded Iris, I mean, take that. They're fantastic.
Yeah, and you also got Tailgate, which is good. You got New Heights, which is good. There's a good good amount of breweries in my area. So,
And
But,
what have you got, Obert?
All right, so my rebuttal to that is, I don't know if this makes sense, but I think we have better breweries than we have beer. Like, I think the breweries here are really cool places to go and hang out.
It's like the atmosphere is really nice.
Very cool atmosphere, very cool scene.
That's because there's live moose in the brewery.
Right. Every brewery has got a moose in the back.
At least one.
At least one moose, sometimes more. But no, I think like that Ivan the Terrible beer I had on a couple weeks ago was really good. Bonsai, it was a good enough brewery to convince me to move to Montana, so that's saying something.
So you're saying you moved to Montana for a brewery?
I'll say it pushed me over the line.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. That was what did it for me. Their burger and the beer. I was like, you know what? I could move here. But I do think, to answer your question, Todd, I think that of the 4 states that we're in, I think they're all definitely in the top 20 for breweries. I think that if you went to, some other places in the deep South, you wouldn't get great beer there.
I can't imagine Alabama having very good breweries.
Trim Tab
Right.
Brewing is amazing out of Alabama, but that's one that I know of.
By the way, I am giving you the exact same look that my profile picture has right now, just as you're talking. So
Hey, Trim Tab's been on the podcast, man. They made it. They did
They're
make famous. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because I don't know if I've ever been to. Oh, I've definitely been to a brewery where I'm like, not my favorite, but I'm never like not excited to go to a brewery. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, a new brewery, yay! And then it might not be great, but I still have fun because it's a brewery and I'm drinking new beer. So
It's like a 10-year-old leaving a candy store and being like, I've had better candy. That was an okay candy store. No one ever says that.
yeah,
I'm struggling to remember the last time I walked into a brewery, had their beer, and said, "I'm never coming here again."
I can't think of one, but
I can't think of one. I know I went to one not too long ago and I was kind of unimpressed with the beer. But, I mean, they make one that's, like, really phenomenal, and then the other ones that I had were like, meh.
so that one outweighed the rest of the bad.
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of like going to Star Spangled Banner or Star Spangled Brewery in Clarksville. The beer wasn't the best, but the atmosphere was fantastic, and that alone will bring you back.
Right. Yeah, the atmosphere there is awesome, and the beer's good.
Yeah,
The Winchester's delicious.
is that the traditional barrel aged?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yep. So I mean, it all depends, and Montana, I'm sure, is known for non-IPAs, or if they are IPAs, they're not the IPAs that we grew up drinking.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I say grew up as if
We grew up 2 years ago drinking. Yeah.
But so I'm sure, because I know, Obert, you've had a lot of Scotch ales. You've had a lot of these like more
Heartier, earthier. Yeah.
Exactly.
Darker
yeah,
beers. Yeah.
exactly. I think they all have merit. I do think Montana's the worst, but I think they all have merit.
Yeah. I mean, I of the co-hosts on the podcast, you're right. I can't really make a great case for Montana, but like I said, the breweries are cool places to go.
Well, I do look forward to coming out to Montana and trying the beer in Montana, so I can come back and give an actual opinion. That way, there's more than one person on the pod who's trying to defend the state of Montana.
Right. Yeah. The best beers here are all draft. They're small batches
Right.
that they don't can. So it's tough to really, I can't send all the great beers to you guys. So, but we've gotten off the rails here. We need to get back on this.
Way
train.
off the rails.
We are out of the park.
Who wants to go next after my Bourbon Barrel Roper Scotch Ale?
I'll go. I am drinking. Yeah. Woo. I'm drinking something that I got in return for a beer trade. It's called No Stress Double IPA from Highland Park Brewing. They're based out of Los Angeles. I got this from Instagram follower, friend of the show, at Russell H. Beer. Helped him. If you have a chance, check him out. He drank a beer from all 50 states last year, which is just insane. So
Jealous.
yeah, myself and Todd actually both helped him achieve that goal. So, shout out to Russell. And he sent me this because he knows that I like IPAs. So hazy double IPA, 8% alcohol by volume. Nice, pretty hazy color there. Looks like like an orange juice.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So
Looks almost like milky white.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe there's milk in it. That'd be delicious, right? So let's see how LA does a hazy double IPA.
I'm gonna guess that they're gonna do it pretty well. I mean, California has long been known as a beer place, so I can't imagine LA being any different.
Yep, they did. They did a good job. So it's a lot more bitter than you would get from maybe like a New England style IPA. Like, New England, you do get a lot of bitterness, but you also get like the grapefruit or the orange or whatever it may be. This one's a lot of hop bitters. Really good though. Nice and refreshing. I love the color. Nice and hazy. I mean, it smells like anything you could get up in Connecticut.
Let me ask you this. Remember a couple episodes we were talking about Double Burst from Fox Farm? And I had mentioned that it was more... It was a New England style beer, but it wasn't really quite New England style because it was more bitter than it was sweet.
Yes. Yep.
Is that kind of what the beer... Is that kind of what you're trying to get across?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good way of putting it. It is... Okay, I got it here. I found it online. It's got Citra, Vic Secret, and Matuka hops, and it's definitely more bitter than it is sweet, which I enjoy. I enjoy that kind of stuff, and I know most of the podcast does as well.
I don't.
Yes, I realize we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into that.
Yeah,
but really good, awesome can art too. Just no stress, no worries. Good beer. I like.
What's on the can? Describe it for our listeners.
So it's a blue can. With sunset going down. It says no stress, hazy double IPA, and it's got a stork. Is that a stork?
Crane.
I think
that's called a crane.
Herring?
Okay.
Herring?
Yeah, I think it's
a stork. So just
it's not a stork though. That's not what carries a baby.
Yep. That's still how babies work. Yes. But really cool can art. Really enjoy this beer. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I don't have a lot of IPAs from California, but this is a pretty good one.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
All right, so that's my beer. Who's drinking next?
So I will go next. And
save the guest for last.
Correct.
Say.
Yeah.
Or the best for last.
Well, it's your first rodeo, okay, Jenna? All right.
We'll see.
We've been doing this for all of almost 20 episodes, okay?
Yeah. We got to show you we got to show you the ropes here. So, I am drinking.
Todd.
It's a powerful can opener there. Yeah.
I know.
So, I am drinking Glitter Rainbow by Kent Falls Brewing Company out of Kent Falls, Connecticut.
Nice. Kent Falls, good brewery.
It's a very good brewery. It's a farmhouse brewery basically in the middle of nowhere. The beer is a blend of Southern Hemisphere and classic American hops, and it offers an expressive fruit character with a plush body. And then the can also says glitter on. So
I like the use of plush. That's nice.
It's a very unique word to describe a beer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's what I was
tasty.
thinking. I've never heard that before. I might have to use that.
So that's a great word. So the beer is very smooth. A lot of citrus as per usual for American IPA or for New England IPAs. I would say it's a lot more grapefruit than orange. It definitely has a little bit of orange, and there's something else that I can't quite put my finger on from a fruit name. It's not a star fruit. Maybe stone fruit might be the flavor I'm getting through here.
I feel like you get a lot of star fruit in your beers, and I
Thank
don't
you.
understand that because that's a very, very mild flavor.
I said this one. I said stone fruit. I said stone fruit.
I know. Yeah. But
Every time I hear that, I'm like, how do you taste star fruit in here?
So what I did way back in the day is I went to the grocery store and I bought basically one of all of like the quote unquote tropical fruits.
Yeah, can I get one of every fruit, please?
And
One.
and then I went home and I ate them.
All of them.
And that's how I learned the different flavors.
I love the
a good
dedication
star fruit.
that you went into to learning beer profile flavors. You went and ate a bunch of fruit.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, beer inspiring you to eat more fruits and vegetables. I love it.
There's not a lot of like earthy tones to this beer, despite most of Kent Falls beers usually do have a little bit of earthiness to them. This one is extremely smooth and extremely sweet. It's a little dull. It's not overly bright. The can is a little bit aged, though. It's from October. This beer, it's one of my favorite beers from Kent Falls, and I was happy to find it. And then I was happy to find it in my fridge reviewing this podcast. This is part of my New Year's resolution that Obert has forced me down the path of drinking beers that I own.
So proud of you.
Like I said, this one was canned in October. It was canned on October 23rd.
Okay, so it's getting a little old.
It is, but I'd say it still holds up. I'd probably give this a 3.75. When I had it fresh, I checked my Untapped. I gave it a 4.25. So it's lost about a half a point, but I'd give this one a 3.75 overall.
Huh, not too bad.
No.
Especially for being, 4 months old, 5 months old?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been in a can. It's been refrigerated. It hasn't gone through any trauma.
A car crash or anything?
Right.
Yeah. Witness its parents die. It's now an orphan beer. Yeah.
I would like to give a little bit of as I'm going through this process of drinking the beer in my fridge and not buying new beer, I do want to share a quick tip on how to bring some beer back to life. And I think we've already shared it, but lay the beer on its side and roll it gently back and forth, forward and backward, and it tends to mix up the sediment and the hop flavor in the beer and gives it a little bit more of a flavor to it. So just in case anybody has any old beer sitting in their house, that's the secret here.
Yeah, it's a good pro tip. It might not make it revive it fully, but it does help add a little bit more of that flavor back into it. So.
Correct. And so with that, I think it's time for our esteemed guest to take a crack at doing this.
Man,
All
fourth
right.
beer.
Well, I am drinking Pure Speculation by Jolly Pumpkin.
Nice.
Their can art is really cool too. Very simple yet not at the same time. A nice light blue.
And this is from your home state of Michigan?
Yeah, so Jolly Pumpkin is actually they started in Dexter, Michigan, which is a smaller town, I believe. They've got 8 different locations now. And
Do people get murdered in Dexter, Michigan?
I don't think so. I think it's just a cute little town.
I'm just reminded of the show Dexter, where he was a serial killer.
Oh, no, I don't think it's like that. Although I've never been there, so maybe. But they've got 8 different locations. They're actually opening up a new one in Dearborn, which is 10 minutes away from where I am. So I'm pretty excited about that. This beer is their first non-sour beer. It was released September 29th of this year. It's 8.2% and it has 65 IBUs. I've got Mosaic, Galaxy, Amarillo, Michigan Cascade, and Michigan Chinook. Chinook?
Yeah, that's
Chinook.
I'm not
That sounds
I'm not a hop connoisseur.
really tasty. Sounds like a beer I would love.
I bet you would. So, this has fresh hop intensity, citrus dominated by grapefruit, followed by soft notes of melon, papaya, peach, and apricot.
How many starfruits are in there?
No starfruit.
No starfruit.
From now on, I'm never going to mention Starfruit again.
Wow, yeah. The look on Jenna's
Wow.
face here. Not a fan. You can
That's
tell.
potent.
Yeah.
Ooh, so it's very bitter up front, but it does fade pretty quickly. Definitely get the bitterness from the grapefruit as well. Not a huge natural grapefruit fan, but I like grapefruit flavor, but I definitely get bitterness from it.
I like grapefruit, but it's way too... I don't know if it's enough. It's too much work to eat a grapefruit.
Yeah.
That's my official stance.
Have you tried eating a pomegranate?
That's good
That's a
point.
pain in the ass fruit
Ugh.
right there.
No, I haven't.
It's so worth it though, but it's such a pain.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
They need the Clementine version of grapefruits.
Yeah, just little baby
Whatever
ones
they
that
did
are easy to
to
peel.
oranges, to turn into
I was about to
clementines.
say.
Yeah.
I complain to Dana all the time about clementines because they're too much work for such a small little orange.
They're not though. Those are the only orange or in the citrus orange family that you can just peel in one whoop and it's done.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about the seeds.
What kind
or
of
anything.
clementines are you peeling where it just
Yeah.
comes off in one
Oh,
one peel?
Ha,
they're
you.
so they're so
Take that.
easy. It's just
I'm on Jenna's side here.
yeah.
They're very
I don't
easy.
know what kind of clementines you guys are eating that are hard.
What are they called? Halos? Is that the Clementine brand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Cuties.
Yeah, cuties and
Yeah.
halos, they're all easy because they're clementines.
No, they're the pains in the asses.
Todd, are you peeling them with a fork or something?
No, I'm peeling them with my
Poking 'em.
hand. Maybe I just have a bear paw.
Could be. I have dainty fingers, so
And you have razor blade nails, apparently. So
Yeah.
Okay, we've gotten way off from your beer. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
we totally distracted you with our fruit sidebar.
So grapefruit dominates this flavor, I believe. I don't get too much melon. I think it's probably too subtle for me to notice right now. Maybe as I keep drinking it, I'll get it a little bit more because it's a milder flavor.
You should go to the store and buy one of all the tropical fruits,
I
and then you
guess
might be
I
able to pick out the
should.
melon thing.
I haven't had a melon in a while, so maybe I should. Maybe a little apricot, too.
You look like you are hating this beer.
every time.
So wait, so quick before we get into the next topic about this beer with you, can you explain Jolly Pumpkin? They don't typically brew IPAs.
Right. They only brew sour beers, which I think is really cool. I know oh gosh, I don't remember. I should have looked it up beforehand. I don't remember the brewery that North Peak Brewing, maybe. They're out of Michigan as well. They have, in their breweries, they have them both on tap. So you're not just drinking sours. You can have North Peak Brewing as well. And they have
cool.
IPAs, which is pretty neat. So you can get both in a Jolly Pumpkin brewery. But yeah, they only brew sour, which I think is pretty neat. I love a good sour beer. And this was their first one introduced this year. They've got another one that's out, or that came out already and has been passed now. I've been told that I'm kind of a ruthless rater by one of the hosts of the show.
Yep.
I think two of the hosts of the show are too easy raters, so...
Yeah, I think you're throwing 4s and 4.5s all over the place. Mm-mm.
We drink good beer.
It takes a lot for me to rate it a 4 or above.
Maybe Michigan has bad beer. She only rates everything. She rates everything a 2.
That is not true.
10.
I can speak from experience. Michigan does not have bad beer.
I drank a Michigan beer last week.
And it was
delicious.
really good beer, see? That's what I'm saying.
Anyways.
Grand Rapids is the beer city of the U.S., so we crank
That's what they say.
We crank out some good beer.
I disagree with that self-appointed name, but they do have good beer.
It wasn't self-appointed. It was from a poll.
I think it's got to be Milwaukee. I mean, to have a sports team named the Brewers,
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
how
Oregon's
else
got it going on, too. Portland.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to get Milwaukee's best from besides
Right.
Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Nobody wants Milwaukee's best.
It's the best.
All right, let me see. Let me rate this. So as I'm drinking it, it is getting a little bit easier to drink. Oh, do you guys want to see it? Oh, wait, let me turn it around this way. Oh, look at that. Look at that cool decal.
Oh, nice. That looks
Yeah,
good.
she's got personalized glasses now, so very cool.
Just one.
That's okay. One of us has Pokemon in our glasses.
I know. I would really like one of those glasses.
Thank you, poor character.
I reached out, and I was denied.
You were.
I was denied. That's all right. Well, I think I'm going to give this... I'll give it a 3.
Okay.
A 3.
Yeah, it's kind of dry on the end, too.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm indifferent.
It's just a part of the character.
Yeah, it's just an observation. It's a little bit dry.
It's just a thing.
So is it safe to say that, because for those of you who don't follow at TheBrewLocker, number one, you're insane, because you should. And number two, is it safe to assume that a BrewLocker rating would be a 6 out of 10? Because you go out of 10.
Yeah, that would be, yep.
See, I pay attention.
I'm pretty sure.
Untapped.
Yep,
Let's get on this.
Untapped should
Hashtag
have
Untapped,
a 10-point
let's get on
scale, because 5 is just not fair.
Yeah.
I think that's just too difficult. You have to go on a 10-point scale.
Now, do you do decimal points on yours as well? So
Yeah.
like 6.1.
Well, I do like quarters, so I'll do like 6.25 or 6.5.
Okay.
Or even. I don't mess around with the 0.1 or 2 or anything like that.
I'm going to give this a 2 5/7. This is my rating for this beer.
Start doing fractions.
And that's out of 8.
out of 8 1/3.
Yeah.
I have some more information about Jolly Pumpkin if you guys want to know a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
Todd, I know you actually went there, right? That's what
you
told
went
me.
there, Todd?
Todd did?
I thought you told me you went to Jolly Pumpkin in Grand Rapids.
It was one of the breweries that we missed.
Oh.
We went to Hopcat.
Well, Hopcat's not a brewery, but they are pretty awesome.
We went to Founders. We went to Mittens. but not Jolly Pumpkin.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry about that, but it's pretty cool. I've been to 2 of them. I've been to the one in Grand Rapids and one in Ann Arbor. The one in Ann Arbor is smaller looking on the surface, but then it's like 3 stories tall, and there's like a little roof or a little patio out on the roof in the back. It's pretty cool. Out in the summer, it's pretty nice. Very hipster in that location because you're in Ann Arbor.
Is Hopcat not a brewery?
I don't believe so. They just have like
That's
over
what she
100
said.
on tap. But
I
it's
thought
from...
they had their own beer, though.
They might, but I've never had it.
Maybe it's something that somebody brewed for them with their name on it.
Yeah.
That's possible.
I mean, have you tried their crack fries? Oh,
They were
not
amazing.
crack fries anymore. Sorry. Gotta be
They had
PC.
to change the name.
Yeah, you can't call
They
them
changed their names?
Yeah, you can't call them crack fries anymore.
That was the name of the fry in September.
Well, not anymore, because it's offensive to people on crack, apparently.
Now they call it crack cocaine fries.
They will always
Wow.
be crack fries. But Jolly Pumpkin started in 2004, so it's a fairly newer brewery, and they brew using traditional Belgian brewing, the open fermentation and oak aging and bottle conditioning. I don't know if you guys know anything about, like, Belgian brewing, but I know Chris doesn't like Belgians. So
I do not.
Well, that would explain why they make most all sours, if that's the process they're using.
Also true, yeah.
I mean, I love a good sour.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and fun fact, their beer is all vegetarian friendly, and some of them are even vegan friendly, which is pretty cool.
That is neat.
Can I ask how a normal beer is not vegetarian?
I don't know, it was on the website. I thought it was a good little bit of info, so I wrote it down.
Yeah, no, I've heard about this before.
I have too. I was just hoping that you knew the answer to it because I'm really curious.
That's something we'll have to follow up with, I think, on a future episode, because I think there's an animal product that a lot of commercial breweries use as a filter for their filtration product. It's like a natural animal.
Ground beef.
What about
No.
lactose?
You run the beer through ground beef.
Yeah.
What if they put lactose in it? Is that an animal byproduct?
Yeah, but not every beer does that.
Yeah, and that would tick more the vegan thing, because vegan, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm bad at not eating meat, but
Understatement of the year.
but vegan is you don't eat the byproduct, but vegetarian is you don't eat the animal, correct?
Correct,
Like,
yeah.
I have that right? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
like vegetarians eat eggs and drink milk and stuff like that, but vegans don't do any of that, or cheese or anything. I actually don't eat beef or pork. I only eat chicken or fish. I think it's called a pescatarian, which is like a mainly fish diet, but I eat mainly chicken.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So you're saying you don't like bacon?
I eat turkey bacon.
Hey, with that, folks, have a good night. See you tomorrow.
I make turkey burgers too. They're delicious.
And remember,
Eat bacon. Remember,
Yeah.
if you're not eating bacon, we end the podcast.
that's what we've always said.
Well, that's all for me, folks.
The podcast is over. It's done. Oh, man.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
It seems like you don't like this beer, and I want to know why.
Is it by my face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of IPAs, as I've said over and over on my my BrewLocker. I've stated it countless times on my Instagram. Although I continue to try them, I'm not opposed to buying them and trying them because I just love beer. I'd rather try it and hate it than not try it at all.
Yep, I
That's a
can
good
see
mindset
that.
to have.
You don't like IPAs, and you don't like bacon.
Ooh.
I know I'm losing here.
This is going sideways in a hurry. All right, so
Jenna, do you know anybody named Blevin? Just curious.
Blevin?
Maybe a Natalie.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I like
Good.
football.
There you go. Go Colts. Oh wait, damn.
yeah, she's probably a
Lions,
Lions fan if I
sorry.
had to guess.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
I
but
mean,
anyways,
at
back
least
to
at least her team's never a threat.
True. The curse of being a Lion fan.
So what about IPAs doesn't sit well with Jenna?
Well, I feel like I'm getting punished every time I take a drink. as you can probably tell by my facial expression every time I take a drink, I don't really enjoy the overpowering bitterness of it, and I believe that makes it a little bit dry on your mouth as well, which is sometimes unpleasant. I mean, this one's fine because it fades really quickly, and the bitterness and that upfront hop fade quickly as well. But it's so intense that I feel like at times it can overpower other flavors, and you don't really get to enjoy everything that's in it, like the peach and the apricot and the melon that are supposedly in this beer, but I can't taste it because all I taste is hop.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah, I just made that up.
It sounded good.
So if you don't prefer IPAs, what is your go-to style of beer?
Well, I have a few. I love fruit beers and cream ales. I love cream ales. And probably a sour. I really like fruit and what they can do with fruit in beer. I think it's really interesting how they can convey those flavors in a beverage.
Yeah.
It's
especially without even using the fruit, which is crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty crazy.
And how you can get something so tart, like a lemon, but it doesn't taste like lemon. It tastes like some other kind of fruit. It blows my mind.
Stone fruit?
Yeah. Starfruit.
Starfruit.
Starfruit. Yeah.
Starfruit?
You know, I have heard that argument before about anti-IPAs, the fact that, and I can see the merit in the argument saying that, you know, you could overhop to cover up bad brewing or mediocre brewing. So like, you're just like, you know, I'm a mediocre brewer, so I'm just going to dry hop the shit out of this, and it's going to taste like hop, and everybody likes hops. You get that hashtag hop hype, you know.
We did that when we were homebrewing.
Hey, and we were mediocre brewers.
Don't give away the secrets to your success.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm anti-hop, you know, or anti-IPA, but like I said, I'll drink them. I'll buy them. I've purchased plenty of IPAs in my time, and I'm trying to expand my palate into liking them because they're taking over. Sours and IPAs seem to be taking over the market recently because everybody loves an IPA.
Yeah, I was going to say sours are the new IPA.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, IPAs were like, whoa, and now it's totally sours. Like, whoa.
You know,
you're like a hipster if you like the sours.
Somebody told me that about 3 years ago, and I didn't believe them. And now that I look around the beer landscape, and I'm like, oh no, they were right. Sours are definitely the new thing.
Oh yeah, sours are awesome.
Eventually, lagers are going to come back around.
I don't know. I think one thing, it's just over the last few years, just the more extreme beers have become, you know, everything is more bitter, more alcohol, barrel aged, you know, there's a lot of flavor being packed into beers nowadays, which I'm not complaining about.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
That's what makes idiots like myself and Tud and Jenna and Obert drink hundreds and hundreds of beers a year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can't get enough.
Right. There's just too many.
Is that a letter flying in from the outside?
That's it. Here it comes. Whoop. It came via owl. So
I was just going to say that. What was Harry's owl?
Hedwig.
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 Hedwig brought it in.
I really should probably watch these movies and or read these books.
They're on Audible. They're really good. But anyways.
You act like I'm an Audible subscriber.
Anyways, we have one quick news announcement, or, well, not news, mailbag. One quick mailbag. And, Tud?
Yes?
You done screwed me. You done screwed me.
How so?
For the record, if we go back and look at the tape, I totally called it too. I had too much faith in Tud, which clearly was a mistake.
So, friend of the pod, Drew, wrote in.
$6 billion in 24 hours. I think that was the number that you gave us, Tud.
It was 2 hours.
2 hours.
$6 billion in 2 hours.
Just an FYI, so
go back and listen to the last episode.
Yeah, so go back to listen to the last episode, and you will hear that part of the what is the news segment. There was a headline that stated that Canada raised $6 billion in 2 hours to erect privacy hedges along the U.S.-Canadian border.
Which Tud called real news.
Yes.
I did call it real news. It turned out that upon researching from one of our listeners, new enemy of the pod, Drew.
No. You're closer
You're
to
the
being an
enemy.
enemy of the pod.
It turned out that was fake. It was a parody news headline. But in my defense, it was passed along to me from somebody who was telling me that it was real news and wanted to use it in the What is the News segment. So
you're basically like the person who just is like, well, Facebook said it was news, therefore I think it's a real thing.
well, no, it's not Facebook that sent it to me. It was one of our other friends of the pod who sent it to me.
Imagine they had done that, but over Facebook, and
And I
that
will
was
not-
basically what happened.
And I will not call him out by name. I will sit here and I will take this blame myself and say that I apologize for not doing the research.
So Drew does say that it calls into question the legitimacy of the entire What is the News segment.
And
He
I
demands
gotta agree with that.
Yeah, me too. Especially me. I totally do.
Yeah.
He demands a full investigation. Wins may need to be vacated. So I think it's only fair to take away 4 of Obert's wins and leave mine exactly the same.
Yeah, I
So.
think that sounds about right.
So I will take that under advisement, and the next time we play What is the News, we will have an updated score for both you and Obert.
Okay, all right, that's
And you as well, because clearly you've lost some points in this one.
yeah.
Apparently, as the host of What is the News, apparently I have also lost points.
You have a losing record now.
Next time I have to wear a dunce cap as I do this.
In the determining what's the real news and what's the fake news, you clearly are not doing much better than me or Chris.
Now, Jenna, as an avid listener and big fan of What is the News, how outraged are you at Tud right now?
I mean, I've got to say I'm pretty outraged.
You sound it.
I'm offended that you would bring me fake news.
Yeah, it's almost as if he doesn't like even consider our listeners people. It's just weird.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't know
a
why he
people.
does that. She is a people.
Are you? You could just be a person on the computer.
I
You could
did
be a
think
bot.
she was a robot. Yeah.
It's true. I could be.
Oh man.
Yeah, we don't know if you're real people.
I'm real people. Don't worry.
Trust me.
Trust
I know.
trust the robot.
That's something a robot would say.
Trust the bot. I'm real.
So again, I want to issue an apology to our listeners and say that I will do better next time. Next time What is the News comes back, it'll be all my own research and all my own questions and all my own ideas.
You heard it here first. What is the News returns in 2020?
Unless I decide to change it, and then we'll go from there.
No, I heard that Jenna brought us a replacement news story for your bogus one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Since
Well, that's good.
you can't do it justice, I brought one for you. So, last Monday, Pizza Hut announced that they're going to start to deliver beer as well as pizza.
This could be a game changer, folks.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Good beer or fizzy
I don't
piss
know.
water?
The article
find
didn't
out.
really have a whole lot. It was from a credible source, like Fox News or something like that. So, facts checking over here. And they believe that being the official sponsor of the NFL, delivering beer will allow them to kind of take over more markets.
I
Yeah.
mean, it would definitely make me want to order Pizza Hut, which is not something I've ever said before, I think.
Right?
So.
I think like Domino's or for here it's Hungry Howie's. It's a Michigan.
Hungry Howie's.
Yeah, it's so good. But Domino's, if they did beer delivery, jeez.
It'd be all over.
Game over.
Domino's Pizza is definitely the better of the two fast food pizzas that we're talking about, and it's definitely better than Papa John's. So it actually might be the best fast food pizza.
I mean, you guys haven't had Hungry Howie's, so...
Have you had Papa Gino's?
Papa Gino's is garbage.
Papa Gino's is the
I've had
best,
Papa
but I think
John's.
it's Northeast only. Papa Gino's is the best, but Domino's is the best
is not
national
the best.
chain.
I agree. I don't know what kind of beer they'll be serving, but I assume it will probably be Bud Light or something, since
Yeah.
aren't they like the national sponsor of the NFL for beer?
No, it's Coors.
Right.
Is it Coors Light or is it Bud Light?
I feel like it's
Well,
Bud Light.
one of them has all of the team's labels on their cans, so
But
I think it might be Bud Light.
But
Yeah.
one of them has team cooler bags that they sell their beer in.
That's true.
I'd rather
but-
Coors Light than Bud Light if it were my choice.
You are so wrong.
It's not.
You don't like bacon. You don't like Bud Light.
I
You
mean,
don't like
I'll drink Bud
IPAs.
Light, but I prefer Coors Light. That's all my dad drinks, so I kind of grew up on Coors Light.
It was in her bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a young age. You were fed.
I was raised on
Coors.
Coors Light, you know. Instead of milk, I had Coors Light.
Yeah. All right. So I think it's that time of the episode, folks. And this week we were fortunate enough to fuse on a fourth handle on our Frosty Mug of Wisdom.
Yeah, I got a glass blower. They were able to make one for us. So.
Yeah. We
put it
took
right
out the
on
old
there.
blowtorch,
Yep.
attached to fourth handle.
So I feel like we should let our guest go first.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
So my handle this week is going to be the Etsy shop Kingsley Acrylic. I hear they sell some pretty cool art.
Yeah? What kind of stuff do they have over there?
So it's a fine art print shop. So, okay, spoiler alert, it's my shop.
We were saving that big reveal for the end, but
well, I couldn't handle it anymore.
yeah.
So what I do is
None of the three members of this podcast support this shop in any given way. It was all brought on. It was all brought by our guest. We do not have any affiliates and or profit sharing into this arrangement.
Thanks. So what I do, I paint on canvas, and then I take a picture of it, and then the picture I will print out as like a fine art print, and I sell that instead of the original canvas. It's cheaper for the consumer to buy, and I can sell multiple of them, because once I sell the canvas, it's gone.
Right.
So it's
Oh, that's interesting.
And what's the name of your shop again?
Kingsley Acrylic.
I'm going to look it up right now. Kingsley.
Kingsley Acrylic. All one word. Capital K, capital A.
All right.
So what do you do with the original canvas?
They're all
After
in
you're
my
done?
house.
Okay.
I do have my art displayed all over in my house. Some of them are in a drawer if I don't have space on the wall. But I just did a new beer art. It's a hop, which is pretty cool. It says hops. It's kind of like an homage to that Obama Hope poster. It's similar to that. And I have like a his and hers set. It's like a his beer bottle and a hers wine glass.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Yeah. I love doing custom work. I think I've done like 4 different sports team logos so far, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw the, what was it? Was it the Seattle Mariners you did or something like that?
Yeah.
It was like pretty badass.
Yeah, I've done the Mariners, the Orlando, Marlins, the baseball team.
The Miami Marlins?
Yeah.
Miami Marlins, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Detroit Lions. All
Cool.
really cool.
So one good team.
All good teams.
Yeah, looks like you got some really good stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to check this out some more.
So now do you hand draw that?
Yes,
And
so
then paint
I stencil everything first because I'm too anal to just paint it. And I'll stencil everything with pencil, and then I paint accordingly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to check out that shop, that would be awesome. And if anybody wants any custom stuff, just shoot me a message either on my Etsy page or on my Instagram page. That'll work too.
What's your Instagram page again?
Oh, TheBrewLocker. Thanks for asking.
Of course.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing. That's something I'll definitely have to check out some more.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
It's about time one of us get a little bit of culture in our lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rather than just drinking beer and BSing forever.
All right. So who wants to go next? Who's Jenna? You got to hand it off to somebody here.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick. You can just hoist it out there,
Okay.
and then looks like Tud's ready to take
I'm
it.
hoisting.
So I'll take it from there. So my handle this week will be an app that everybody should go out and download right now. It's called Alarmy, Alarmy, and it is an alarm app to help you wake up in the morning. But rather than your traditional alarm that you just hit snooze or stop and then can easily fall back to sleep after, Alarmy makes you work for the ability to turn it off. So whether that's by answering complicated math problems or playing memory with different tiles or answering a trivia question, you have to do that before the alarm will deactivate. while you're playing the game or doing the math problem or answering the trivia question, the alarm does stop.
Okay, I was going to say, is it just blaring while you're trying to play memory?
So it's not making
Pressure.
noise the entire time you're playing it. But if you happen to like pause in the middle because like you fell back to sleep, the alarm will kick back on. But it is a good way of like motivating you to do something, and it gets your brain firing in the morning. So that way, once you're done with that, you can easily wake up and continue on with your morning. I've been doing it the entire year of 2019 as in a hope of being able to motivate myself easier in the morning when I have to go to work.
It's your second New Year's resolution after your drink 2 for every one you buy.
Correct. It was not my new beer resolution, but it was a New Year's resolution. Overall, it's been working, and I recommend everybody else to go out there and download it. It's free. There is things you can pay for, but the general app you can use for free, and you can use any of the music that's already uploaded on your phone.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Very interesting.
I've always been a little wary of using music as an alarm because I know after I do, I'll hate that song forever. And I don't want to ruin any of the songs I like. So,
Yeah, I have the most annoying alarm.
You can also use default sounds.
okay.
So with that, I'm going to hand it off to somebody else who wants it.
Yeah, I'll go next. This is a really, really interesting handle that I think you guys are going to enjoy. Because when I was back home for New Year's, I was hanging out with my almost 4-year-old friend, Nate. And
That's not creepy at all.
yeah, we were hanging out. He was showing me some of his favorite YouTube videos. And he had to recommend this channel to me, which I want to share with you guys. The guy's name is Coyote Peterson. And he has this channel called Brave Wilderness. And basically what this guy does is he goes all around the world and he gets himself stung or bit or attacked by different animals on the quest to get stung by the insect with the highest pain there is.
Why would you do that?
I have no idea, but I'll tell you what.
Dumbassery.
If you're 4 years old, it's like the best thing to watch ever. And I wanted to share this video just because this guy, he's like such an over the top actor, and it is a delight to watch. I'm gonna play it for you guys a little bit here.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
so-
they
Oh
didn't
my
show
goodness.
it though. They just
Oh no, this is a 15-minute long video, so that's the teaser to get you into it. But
Oh.
yeah,
I was
so he
like,
does other stuff.
okay, just put it on himself.
I will tell you that I will never watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
me
does
neither.
all kinds
No.
of crazy stuff.
Oh man, woo, that's rough.
Yeah, but I just think it's a hilarious video, and we'll put a link into the show notes, and just a ridiculous thing you can watch on YouTube now.
Eey,
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coyote Peterson has got a book called The King of Sting.
the king of
Oh
Sting.
man, that's not something that I'm ever gonna do, I guess.
So I'm going to hope that the next person who hoists the mug, the last person, has something a little bit more happy and less cringeworthy than that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Well, actually, I assume I'm getting past the mug, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're the only
that
one
stole my
left.
thunder here, but here you go. Here you go.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
just so grossed out about what we just watched that
I thought that would go over better, but apparently you guys are not bug people.
No.
No,
Thank
no.
you.
You're
But
gonna-
thank you.
What
Obert.
happens if CJ is a bug kid, though? What are you going to do then?
burn every bug with fire.
I don't know. I haven't made it that far yet. One of my biggest fears, being a dad that's petrified of like a lot of things, is he's gonna end up like playing with a snake, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just be like, all right, well, my
You're on
CJ's
your
gone,
own.
I guess.
I caught a gardener snake at work once. And I have a picture
Time
of
to
it
go-
all entwined in my fingers.
You're a much braver person than I am.
I'm
So
a cool
Chris is
girl.
going to be like, all right, time to go make a new kid.
yeah. I love you, CJ, but you're a snake person now. I'm absolutely petrified of snakes. Ask Dana.
My sister is too. She like freezes.
It's terrible. But so yes, so I have the 4th handle on our Frosty Mug of Wisdom
the
this
newly
week.
added one.
The newly added handle. Yeah, it's still piping hot. Ow, ow, ow. Burning my hand. And I was going to do raid after seeing that video because in order to help with those big deadly bugs.
My handle this week is Raid. You can find it at your local Walmart, Stop and Shop, or wherever groceries are sold near you.
Right. But I'm actually going to do something that is a kind of like home improvement project that I've been working on for like the last week or so. And it's behind the couch tables. It's something that I've been, like I said, I've been building. I'm building 2 of them for Obert and Tud. You've seen my big ass couch that I have downstairs.
I thought you were building one.
I thought you said you were going to build me one.
I was like, wow, that's really nice.
Well,
I did too.
Yeah,
I was like,
wow.
where's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, what a friend.
Yeah. I'm not that good a friend.
Did you take measurements on my couch while you were here
Yeah.
so you know how long it has to be?
Shipping costs alone
Yeah.
would be.
But no, I do know you have a monster couch, and that's one problem you have when you have a big couch like that. You got nowhere to put your drink.
Right, nowhere to put your drink, and like all the plugs behind the couch are like useless because you have to like tear them out. So, what you do, and I'll put a link to the recipe, I guess, the instructions that I followed to the wood recipe, and it's pretty easy. I mean, you can.
Two
What
parts
I'm doing
wood.
is what's that?
One part nail.
Add 10 nails, combine thoroughly.
Stir until stiff peaks are formed.
But yeah, all it is it's a basically an 8-inch table. I'm doing 2 that are 6 feet long to put behind my entire couch, and it's pretty simple. I'm not very handy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm like slowly learning, but not very handy. And it gives you a place to put down your drinks when you're sitting on the couch, put your remotes. I'm actually putting 2 plugs in them as well that you can plug into the outlet, so you can plug your phones in or your laptop chargers or whatever it may be. So, and we're actually looking to get rid of our actual coffee table once these are done. I have one almost done. So, but it's pretty cool. Been something that Dana's wanted for a while, and for some reason, the last week I was like, I'm going to do this now.
That's a nice
Nice.
space saver too, to not have a coffee table.
Yeah. And like with CJ running around, like my biggest fear is he's going to catch his head on like the corner of the coffee table.
I saw it happen live.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And so just want to alleviate that if possible.
And now, what is that called? Like a runner table? Is that the official name?
Yeah, they're called console tables. I mean, amongst a bunch of other things, but that's the one that I've seen most frequently when searching online. So
Nice. No, I'm excited to see the finished recipe when it all.
yeah. When it's
Does it
done
have
baking.
to bake for 3 hours at 3:45?
Right. Yes, you have to bake it in wood glue, and
And I'm really excited when it comes in the mail too. So that's again really generous of you.
Yeah, I'll be looking.
yeah.
Thanks.
I'm really happy that you decided to make me one. Thanks.
Yeah.
No, but anyways.
So with that, thank you everybody for listening. We'd like to thank the breweries that provided today's beers. I'd like to thank Kent Falls for Glitter Rainbows.
I would like to thank Highland Park Brewery for their No Stress Hazy Double IPA.
I'm going to thank Bad Sons for their Roper Scotch Ale.
I'm going to thank Jolly Pumpkin for their pure speculation.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped at DAWF Podcast. And then please, everybody, make sure that you go out and follow Jenna. And Jenna, please name drop all of your social media channels right now.
TheBrewLocker.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah.
And on Etsy, you are.
Kingsley Acrylic. And if you want to follow my fitness journey, it's Jenna Muscles.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
Do you have a Twitter or a Facebook or anything like that?
No.
Email?
TheBrewLocker at
Yeah.
Gmail or Kingsley Acrylic at Gmail. Super easy, you know.
And then hashtag follow the email for our podcast at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Please make sure that you include your comments, questions, general thoughts, concerns, hatred. Apparently, we're now accepting corrections to my What is the News segment too. Thanks, Drew.
We've always accepted TUD corrections on this in the email.
Those are the only corrections we like.
New TUD enemy of the pod. Please let us know if you guys would like stickers. I've been handing them out around the state, and I stuck a few at the beer racks, which we will get into on another episode so we can explain what that is. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. On iTunes, please make sure to give us a 5-star rating. It's the one that aggregates the ratings and helps people find us. So again, make sure you rate us 5 stars on iTunes. I don't care whether you have an Apple product or an Android product or you don't have a phone at all. you need to go find a way to get on iTunes and rate us.
I mean, Tud is homeless, and he still makes this podcast every week. So
correct.
You can definitely get out there and rate us.
Right. Anybody else have anything to add?
Yeah. After a billion years, our giveaway on Instagram is live. So announced it the other day. The post is up. It's pretty easy to follow along. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the best giveaways I've ever seen ever. So
I have shared it.
Yep. See, you can catch it on TheBrewLocker, but I'm gonna run that until 11:59 CST on the 20th. So the 21st, I'll be digging through, picking a winner. So if you want to get some really good goodies, check out our Instagram or Jenna's Instagram, either one.
And that is the 20th of January, 2019.
Correct, yes.
No, next year.
For those of you listening, after we've made it huge and are going through the back catalog, the contest is probably out.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Right. And with that, I'm Tud.
My name's Chris.
I'm Obert.
And I'm Jenna. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.